right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Boiler Room. I'm your host. My call sign is Hesher. And I want to thank you for joining us for this show tonight. We are live at alternatecurrentradio.com. That's where you find us on the web. We're live at rockfin.com. What's up, Rockfin? We're live on Spreaker.com. What is up, Spreaker.com? And that, of course, will be piping out to all the other popular and fantastic podcasting apps out there. And oh yeah, I almost forgot one. I didn't forget you, YouTube. You're here. You're with us too. Great to see you if you're out there in the YouTubes. And as a note, let's see. We got we got a few people over there. Just so you folks on the YouTube know, tonight the second half of the show is going to be over at Rockfin. Just doing our best to have the right conversations in the right places. So when we hit the interlude, the intermission part of tonight's show, get ready to run over to Rockfin for the final segment of the show. It'll be over there in the it won't be in the premium area. It'll be free, so everybody can go see it. You don't have to be a signed up member over there to view it. But yeah, that's the plan for tonight. That's the going plan here in the Boiler Room. Big thanks to everybody that has pitched in on our Shillin' for Sanity spring donation drive. You folks are the best. We've got some more new video content coming out tonight. And yeah, anyone that's been thinking about supporting us, thank you for considering it. And if you got the means, go ahead and do it. We'll put everything back into the broadcast, back into the studio, back into our business relaunch over here. And yeah, those of you that have pitched in, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, it's gonna be an interesting show tonight. I think the news is a mess. The streams are a mess, and if you want to get my hot take on the event that happened out here in Texas, then go to TNT or even the Alternate Current Radio Spreaker station in that Alternate Current Radio podcast bucket over there at Spreaker.com. You'll find the raw copy of my appearance on both Stop the Presses with Mark Anderson and the Patrick Henningsen show from, gosh, I guess that was today. I guess that was earlier today. We're now 48 hours out from that event. And boy, things have really changed from the initial reporting. And yeah, it's been pretty crazy. That's all I've been doing basically for the last 48 hours is tracking this story. And we'll talk about that in the second hour, but I need a break from it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm sure YouTube doesn't want to hear my opinion on it. So we'll shelf it for a minute and we'll hang out with our friends. We'll introduce friends, our colleagues here in the Boiler Room. And I guess I will say welcome to the Infidel Pharaoh. Infidel, welcome back to the Boiler Room. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I unmute myself and then get muted again.
Sorry about that, man.
That's right. I'm doing good, man, on this night of May 26, 2022. Doing good. How are you?
I'm great, man. It's great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, we'll see what we get into tonight. I can tell Spore's already dropping some icebreaker material our way that we can kick off with. So it should be an interesting night, just judging by the headlines I'm seeing over there in my previews.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it, my friend.
All right. Excellent. All right. Up next, we've got the man behind the Sole Purpose podcast and the video whiz over here. My goodness. So many good edits coming out of West Lexicon Media over there at MindSpaceArt. Just want to tip my hat to you. Thank you once again for everything that you do over here. Speaking of hats, that's a nice one. It's a nice one right there. Anybody wants to email him and figure out how to get one of those, it's mindspaceart@alternatecurrentradio.com. We're all pretty easy to get a hold of, so feel free to reach out. Mindspace, welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us tonight.
Yes, it's excellent to be out here on the show, and I just got to take a sip really quick out of my Boiler Room mug and say, merchandising, all right? You know what it's all about here, folks. We're chilling for sanity all the time, but we're making it happen over here. Thank you so much about the video edit there, and I hope people enjoyed the intro here to the Boiler Room tonight. We try to come out swinging and just get us all right in the mood for talking about the things that we talk about here and tackle on this broadcast. which is a lot of serious stuff, but it's real. So that's what it's all about. Appreciate you having me on the show. Let's get into it.
All right. Yeah, let's get into it tonight. It's great to see you, man. Can't wait to see what we have happen tonight. It's always a surprise, very unscripted, off the cuff sort of show. And that's the way we like it. Up next, we've got Ruckus joining us, folks. There's a Ruckus among us. There he is right there. Ruckus, welcome to the show. Ruckus is the producer, creator, host, and all things doer of the Daily Ruckus, which I'm sure all of you are signed up for by now. But if you're not, you know what to go gently touch or smash which button to follow the Daily Ruckus. All right, Ruckus, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. Am I coming in all right? My microphone is nice.
A-OK 5x5.
Speaking of nice, that intro video there, MindSpaceArt, unbelievable. That was total aces. I give that 2 thumbs up, A++. Absolutely love it. I think I'm just going to add it to my music playlist because the music was banging too. That was dope, man. Love it. Good stuff. Keep it up.
Thank you. Yes, shout out to Epidemic Sounds for allowing so much magic to come together here with the edits recently. So thank you so much for that.
Right on.
Yeah, that really has been a wonderful service, and one that we are able to do because we partner with our listeners. Our listeners help us out, and we put everything back in. We always try to match anything the listeners put in there. And this year, one of the best investments ACR made was that Epidemic Sound license, man. I mean, I might be repeating myself, but I get emails from people sometimes going, "What track was that? That's banging. I want to go get it." And it's like, well, it's in our, it's in our licensed music stack. So here's a link if I can remember which one it was. But yeah, it's really great resource, man. Really kind of took the sting out of the interwebs rejecting our hopes and dreams of being able to play, all the copyrighted music that
a lesson to be learned, and I hope that other platforms are paying attention, because you can see what happens when there's organic marketing versus the force-fed marketing. I'm a fan of the former rather than the latter. By the way, MindSpaceArt, I see your Boiler Room mug, and I'll raise you one Daily Ruckus mug. Thanks for having me.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's your Boiler Room tonight, everybody. Infidel Pharaoh, Ruckus, MindSpaceArt, myself, Spores hanging in the background, doing some work over here and kicking back, honestly, and going to enjoy the show. She's been at it as long as I have, if not longer today. So we're kind of splitting the deal tonight. She's helping me produce in the background. And with that in mind, I suppose it's time to see what she's got set up for us as an icebreaker tonight. Let's see, what do we got here? Ooh, okay. I've got a couple, and I'm not sure which one's going to take precedence, but let's just go with them in order here. Let me put that on screen for everybody. There you go. And then let me get my monitor screen back over here. Boom. What do we have tonight? Spore. Watch out for falling. Ben & Jerry's Fly Trex is now delivering ice cream by drone. Oh, no. With the ice cream shop, Unilever's first online-only store, Fly Trex drones will offer delicious treats to consumers from the sky. Wow. So that's pretty crazy. Where can we get this done? Let's see. Offering ice cream delivery straight from the sky to residents in North Carolina and Texas. All right, excellent. Texas, there we go. So if Ben & Jerry's, all right, let's see. It says after placing an order through is it Fly Trex or Fly T-Rex? I'm not really sure how they would want me to pronounce that, but it's an app, and users can expect to receive packages of ice cream in their front or backyard delivered with a flight time of under 3 minutes, according to a press release. Unilever's The ice cream shop offers products from top ice cream brands such as Ben & Jerry's, Breyers, and Talenti. So there you go. I don't know. Any big ice cream fans in here? I don't mind ice cream. I could do some ice cream. I didn't see Haagen-Dazs listed there though. That's kind of my jam, Ruckus.
Yeah, aren't certain politicians known for having a love of ice cream? I believe Nancy Pelosi is one, if I'm not mistaken. She's famous for having like an entire bottom chest freezer drawer full of like the most expensive ice cream you can find. If I'm not mistaken. If someone wants to fact check me on that, that's fine, but I'm pretty sure I'm right there. Actually, this was an article that I submitted for the icebreaker, so it's kind of interesting that you guys chose this one. I find this whole thing very interesting. I think somewhere in the article it actually makes a joke about watch out for falling ice cream from the sky, but seriously, we're going to see a lot more of these crazy drones flying around delivering stuff. Are we going to start to hear about these things accidentally falling out of the sky and hitting people on the head? Who's going to assume the liability for that? I mean, the other thing is, obviously, this is immediately. I look forward to it's like summertime when you hear the ice cream truck playing the music out on the street and the kids come running out with their money, right? Are we trying to get away with all of that? Are we trying to force out all of the small business owners again with this big tech?
That is a good question.
And the name of the company, I think the drone flight Rex, it might be Flight Rex, because I don't know, it's just a giant wreck. I don't know. Or maybe you will be after ordering so much of this crap and sitting on your ass all day doing nothing but eating drone delivered ice cream. This is crazy.
Yeah, I think for some ice cream aficionados out there, the trip to the store to buy the ice cream might be the exercise. I know that's a struggle some of us ice cream lovers have. So yeah, there's a couple of ways one might get wrecked there. Infidel Pharaoh, I'm pretty sure I've seen some stories where people have shot drones out of the sky too. Like there's really a bit of a unacceptance still. Like it's not commonly accepted, especially in rural areas, that someone's just flying a drone over your property.
Yeah. Or someone has like a signal jammer, a GPS jammer.
There you
Just get
go.
this thing lost.
There you go. That's a little more polite.
Yeah, I know, right? It's interesting. I'm just reading an article. I don't know if it's the same one or not. This one is on MSN. But say that the partnership coincide with broader growth for the ice cream market. According to a recent study from Allied Analytics, sales of the delicious frozen treat are projected to reach $122 billion by 2031.
$122 billion in
Of
ice cream
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
2031. So
Wow.
That's
what Agenda 2030 is all about right there, I bet. It's all about getting the ice cream market up to 122 billion.
That's right. You're just going to be sitting at home and having ice cream and pizza dropped in your lap.
Yep. Because they have pizza drones now too, right? I think
they do have pizza drone. Yep.
Right.
They do.
And they're little like automobile, like remote control car sort of thingies.
Yeah, Domino's have those like self-driving pizza cars.
Yep.
So I don't know. We might have some killer like ice cream coming to you soon.
Don't get freezer burn.
Yeah.
Isn't this a bit of a song and dance? It's kind of like, all right, we're going through this big rigmarole. We're making all these machines to like deliver you your slop, whatever. Just bring back the feeding trough, right? Like if the military tomorrow just like gets converted into a giant like feeding trough operation, like deposit one in each community, then we can all act like the pigs that they're trying to turn us into, because that's basically what this is, but in the atomized form. It's all gonna come to you, but what is the price that we pay for that? So further cutting us off from like you said, Hesher, even that quick that trip to the grocery store, it's you get a little movement, doing something, getting a little cardio before the heavy dose of shame, right? But
yeah,
I guess there's a balance to these things, right? Last comment on that being like, was this was the predictive programming of Avatar, wasn't it? Everybody's gonna rise up and have their slingshots. They're shooting the ice cream drones out of the sky, and that's how it goes down. But unfortunately, I don't think we'll be riding around on space pterodactyls like they were.
That's a real letdown, man. I was really looking forward to that Smurf life, with the reptiles there.
Well, isn't Avatar 2 coming out? So we, you don't have to go up the dream yet, because they'll probably allow that movie to like be in VR experience. So we may yet get our wish here, guys.
Yeah. Maybe we can go to a Fish concert and they'll have the Avatar blue dudes and they're flying dragons up in the, flying around above the crowd.
You best believe it. Yeah, that's what's in store for us, folks. That's right around the corner. So get ready.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet it's going to be a universe that's all yellow? So you got the blue characters against the yellow. Never mind.
I see where you're going with that.
But speaking of that, I'm kind of outraged. I'm pissed off about the amount of money in the ice cream. What was that? Industry, 122 billion.
Yep.
Okay, dude, that's outrageous. Don't they know that starving Zelensky in Ukraine could use that money for howitzers and shit?
Right? Don't we owe that to Ukraine? I mean, we send all the baby food over to the southern border into Ukraine. We send all the money over there. We cut off all the energy and the food from there to us to hurt them, I guess, or something. I don't know. It's all very, very confusing to me. All right. Well, I see that Flight Rex. You're welcome, Flight Rex. I think Ruckus was right there. It's one of those cool, like, new wave applications sort of things where they leave out the pertinent vowels in many cases. But I think Flight Rex is also going to partner with Jersey Mike subs and It's Just Wings. So for you couch potatoes, rejoice. Oh my gosh. You could just walk out in the backyard and hope that the drone didn't drop your inbound Mike subs, Just Wings, and Ben and Jerry's ice cream on a dog shit that might be lurking in your backyard or something. But
And just think, if they start delivering pork products, it finally happened, people. Pigs fly. Yeah.
that's right.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be wings and ice cream for the first 2 weeks. And then after that, they'll deploy the laser beams, and then we'll be in War of the Worlds really quick.
No,
I'm wondering.
your jabs. They'll deliver them by drone.
That's right. I'm just wondering if they actually, like, if you're stuck like in a traffic and a hot day, they can actually track you through your phone and just request it, and actually drone can just land and get you some ice cream to just cool off.
That would be amazing. That would be a godsend to a lot of parents, I bet, too, with like kids stuck in the back seat that need a blast of sugar or something. It's like, all right, little Johnny, there's a drone on the way. Just hang in there.
Imagine what that city traffic would start looking like.
So here is an idea. In states where weed is legal, can we do like a weed delivering drones?
Why not?
Yeah, we can like get some drones and partner with some of those like dispensers out in Colorado.
Again, I mean, you're going to put some people out of work there. There's a lot of people that enjoy that job. And there's some people, like a lot of people actually get their weed delivered and really enjoy their interactions with the delivery person. Like, and there's a lot of people with medical reasons to have it delivered to them. So it's like, they especially don't get to get out. So I don't know, Flight Rex. I think I don't know if the corporate model here has considered what they're going to do to brick and mortar workers and delivery workers and all that. But I mean, we know the real answer, right? You can now buy a robot to replace a waiter for $20,000. I know waiters get wrecked on their salaries, live on tips, but just imagine if the employer could buy a $20,000 robot. All of a sudden, your yearly salary or year and a half salary looks about the same cost as said robot. So I don't know. There's a cost benefit ratio thing here, a return on investment, if you will, that may just be completely inevitable as especially as the recession and the dollar values just tanking and everything. And if it really does go digital currency at some point, I mean, I don't know. We're getting down to the weeds here.
Look at the effect that Amazon had on everything as far as our consumer-driven and capitalist economy here in the States, at least, is concerned. It took Amazon a little while, and then it was amplified and accelerated. Oh, interesting words. during the P word, right? But the thing is, like, look at the effect that the convenience of shopping from home online from a huge online giant retailer, Amazon, what that did to so many other retail businesses. And the ones that didn't go away, because a lot of them did, had to adopt and adjust and join either the same type of business model or literally join forces with Amazon in order to survive as a company and keep people employed. Now we're going to see the same kind of effect on all these other industries, the restaurant industry, these little mom and pop places that might make baked goods or whatever. Who's going to go to, go drive into the little hole in the wall downtown to go buy some sweet treats when they can have it delivered via the push of an app button? This is totally bad. This is all bad. We're trading convenience for cutting off more human interactions. Like you said, Hesher, the people love to interact with people. And I think all of this is unnatural. It sounds cool on the surface because who wouldn't? I mean, come on. I mean, we're like, be great. Like right now, I'm like, hey, if I got hungry, I can't just, hey, sorry guys, time out. We got to stop the show. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'll have it delivered or by drone. The convenience is great, but man, what a slippery slope and a two-edged sword, or however you want to look at this. It's just all bad. I don't know what we can do about this. Nothing, I guess.
Well, that's a good question. Is there a way to, like, if the worst case scenario is, like, okay, let's look at the Blockbuster example. All video store rentals are pretty much dead and gone. If you still can find one of those in your town, you have an interesting town. And that's just the way that the technology went, the way the market went. As soon as internet got fast enough to stream this stuff to people, people realized, my goodness, we'll save the planet without everybody driving to the freaking video store every night. We're going to stop so much driving. It's just all these like, things people thought, and Netflix was, kind of revolutionary when it came along. We'd never seen anything like that before that could run that way at that quality. And I don't know, it forced it to disappear, but that's one industry, right? Like that's just one set of, it's a lot of people. Ruckus worked in that industry for a while. A lot of people have back in the day. But what is there a way? I guess what I'm getting at is it inevitable, like it is with Blockbuster, when we get into this like robotic stuff, like robotic servers, like say we can completely take the people out of food service, or a massive percentage of it, and business owners make more money, less mistakes are made, stuff like that. Is there a way to still like section these out so that there's still a place for people that want to have, mostly the consumers? Like, is there going to be a demand, or will the demand go away for that person to person interaction? And who wins there? How does that work? Is there a way to salvage it? Like, can we have it both ways? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Maybe it'll be a museum type thing where it's like actually like an entertainment attraction and not the real thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I don't know. Part of actually enjoying food is, for me at least, is actually the personal touch, and sometimes is even the difference from one time to the other time, right? Because it's a human that's cooking it. I know we're trying to stick to recipes and everything, but if it's everything is just so, templated, that just everything is same exact every time, it's just gonna become boring so freaking fast. Just for me, please.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I don't like the trajectory here. I mean, I would like, I think we'll have a sweet spot. There's going to be a sweet spot where you have both options, like that's kind of where we're headed right now. So enjoy that while you have it. But, there's a lot of talk going around right now, you guys, about this whole World Economic Forum thing. And, we've talked about it on the show a little bit. We're all still very confused about it, and don't want to give it too much gas, because it just seems so unsovereign, so un-American, so awful to let a World Health Organization tell countries, when they can and can't enjoy their freedoms. That's, it doesn't really work for us, to the point where I can't even comprehend it. Like that's something people that flew into Davos in 1,500 private jets are proposing. It's like, you guys are laughable. This is clownish. How can that doesn't make any legal sense? It doesn't make any historical sense. There's no precedent for it. But anyways,
it
go ahead.
is. No, it's really interesting. I mean, I've been listening to some snippets of those speeches, and even the intro statement by Schwab saying that, hey, we are the one that makes basically history, and just lining up everything that it's their decisions that shape how everything is. And then some of the suggestions that's coming out about like tracking carbon footprint. I think I posted like one of those videos out in one of our chats. Maybe we can play it later, but it talks about like how they want to track everybody's carbon footprint to understand how much carbon do you emit, and how much based on your location too. This way they have like complete accurate data of your exact carbon footprint. It's really interesting where they are going, right? So I guess every time I fart, they're going to be tracking my farts and my carbon footprint. But this is where we know that they were heading, right? And it's this year they're really hitting it to home, I would say.
Yeah, I gotta wonder what kind of like buy-in they're gonna get on that. They make it sound like, I listened to some of those clips, and they make it sound like they're doing us these favors. It's like, oh, we'll do you a solid here. We're gonna give you an app that you can track your carbon footprint on. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I want an app that tracks the carbon footprint of my government and military's X, Y, and Z, and Fortune 100 corporations X, Y, and Z, and people that fly in private jets. I'm more interested in an app that tracks those people's carbon footprints than my own farts or whatever, or my cow's farts, or whatever kind of voodoo math they're gonna throw at us into this app. And who cares about that? I don't understand. It's like the health tracker apps to me. Like, okay, maybe the NPCs of the world out there will be into that, and they'll gamify it a little bit, and these small-minded individuals will feel virtue from interacting with said applications. But I mean, does any of this stuff have any teeth? And at what point, if it does, at what point do people start complaining? Because I think that would happen pretty quick.
Well, I mean, think about it, like all those new generations that just being raised in an education system that show them that they are just despicable beings, and everything they do is nothing more than just destruction of the planet. And and really, like, you have no other contribution in your life to society or anything. And now all of a sudden they give you this app. I'm like, hey, you're going to save the planet. And a lot of people are going to find satisfaction because they're already brainwashed into this. And it's just, I think you will be surprised. Actually, you're going to get a lot of buy-in especially from the newer generations.
Yeah, I agree, man. But I still think it's going to be like, and maybe this will change with time, but I still think like if they try to roll this stuff out soon here, it would be like what, I don't know, what's the biggest uptake and acceptance they could get? Maybe 30%, and they'll escalate it in the media to make it look like it's 60% or something, kind of like.
Yeah, I would say 30% is a fair. I think 30% is a fair assessment.
Right.
33.
There you go. Let's keep it
and a third.
That's right.
But it's actually interesting, as you mentioned, like that the media inflation of numbers, right? Because it's interesting, like even now when I go to stores, I found like a lot of people are still wearing, like employees are wearing masks, and it make me think again about the jab numbers that they kept like promoting, saying, oh, you have like 70% of the population took the jab, right? And it makes you wonder, like, okay, are all these people that are still wearing masks, they are forced to wear masks because they don't have the jab? So I still question, honestly, the number of people that actually took it, and if it's real number or it's inflated. And I just don't trust any numbers that comes out of media right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I would trust that number.
Exactly. And they've changed it so many times. They've rolled it up, they've rolled it back, they've promoted it when it was high. They've done just so many weird things with it. I don't see how anyone can just take that stuff that comes out of that organization as fact. Same with Johns Hopkins. It's just like, I'll no, thank you. I've had enough of your computer models. How about that? I'll look out my window and let you guys know. We'll tweet it. We'll let you guys know if there's a zombie apocalypse or a pox upon us or something like that. I think the best way for us to find out is just look out the window and just imagine if that was all we had done in 2020 and 2021. Like, would life really be any different? I'm not sure. But that's a game of what ifs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to order any drone pizzas, but I don't really eat at any of the restaurants that would fly a drone. So maybe this isn't something we need to worry about right away, but who knows? I mean, I guess that's where I was kind of headed when I brought up the WEF thing in Davos. Like, if those people, that crowd really wants to try to do more pandemic lockdowns in the future, like they're kind of, flashing the monkeypox around and stuff like that right now. Maybe this will pick up. Maybe this will be a thing, the drone delivery stuff. I could see that having a big like wedge into society under circumstances like that. I mean, that's how everybody's mom is on Zoom now, right? I mean, nobody's mom was on Zoom in 2019, and now everyone's mom is on Zoom. I shouldn't say no one's. There's some good techie moms out there, I'm sure, but you know what I mean? It's like the circumstances that they put on society really can make a quick change there.
Absolutely, it's a fair point, and I'm wondering who are the investors in this flight tracks? How many congressmen or senators are actually investors and government?
They mentioned
investors in that.
Unilever. That sounds familiar to me. Like they make products, right? Ruckus, is that the same one that makes like soap and
they make a lot, including food products. Though.
Okay, all right. So that's one of those.
They're one of the big ones. Huge.
Okay.
You should just go Wikipedia search that one. Just do some research on that one. Unilever. You'll find some interesting ties to history too. I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few threads to pull there, some interesting connections to make. I'm guessing they're rubbing elbows with big pharma in some ways too there, and maybe the military industrial complex. I wouldn't be surprised if one finds any of that in there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those were the two that I was thinking of as well, being, having their hands in this. But I want to go to something that Infidel was talking about, how they're just constantly hammering away at the consciousness of people. They want to instill everybody with this guilty conscience, and then they can just call upon that at any moment, whenever they want to enact the next phase of the agenda, and people will comply, and they'll live in smaller and smaller and smaller boxes because they're all being conditioned to believe that, you're bad, even if you just I loved, Hesher, the phrase that you did there. What is it? Voodoo mathematics or whatever.
Yeah.
If you make a simple comparison, to what the average person consumes on the ground level to something like, the reference to Davos there, where you can see the vast parking lot of the private jets. I mean, it should be pretty simple here. Not to mention all of like the, massive transportation boats and things that are all around the world. So, they want to make us everybody feel like, bad and guilt tripped over this stuff. But what is the solution to that? I mean, in a way, it's to recognize that our self-esteem on the individual level, on the citizens level, has nothing to do with what a corporate oligarchy is trying to force into our brains about what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, who and what is good or bad. We got to have principles ourselves instead of exporting it all to these companies who just view us as a product. So they just view our own beliefs as well as a product. So, don't get rubber stamped. Don't be, let them etch a serial number on your brain, because it belongs to you, not them.
Yeah, there you go. Don't get that barcode on the back of your neck, right? All these beast markings and corporate slogans, all this stuff. I mean, the just we've talked before about the I always space on the acronym when I try to bring it out of thin air. I think it's ESR or something like that. Talked about it with Mark Anderson, talked about it in the Boiler Room a couple times. But these companies have ratings. There's a rating system based on their ethics, if you will. Okay, that's what the E stands for in it, and the corporate. There's like an agreed upon corporate structure for what that looks like, and if you don't play along, if you don't have the right kind of rating, you're not going to progress from small business to medium business to large business to Fortune 1000 to Fortune 500 to Fortune 100. It's not going to happen for you. You're not going to be in that tier without those. Someone can correct me in one of the chats if they want. I think it's ESR. But anyways, I'll link that episode on the show notes if I can find it when I'm doing post production here. If people want to learn more about that, but I think it's pretty well known at this point. And like for example, let's see, next month everybody's bracing for it. It's GAY Pride Month, right? And all the corporate logos will change from a blue and yellow flag to a rainbow flag, perhaps, or maybe a variant of the blue and yellow flag that looks rainbowy, which has its own ridiculous connotations and contradictions, but we don't need to go there. But yeah, that's a corporate thing, right? So, I mean, in my mind, and maybe I'm old school, but to me, like that kind of reminds me of like back in the day when, we had like the hippie movements, and then fast forward to like the Occupy movement, and everybody was, kind of had the spotlight on the 1%, if you will. And that's just all gone. It amazes me how the skepticism of corporatism is just gone in the era of wokeism, in the era of hyper dialectics. It's so weird to me. We all used to be like, F the man, and in some way, shape, or form, whether you were on the right or the left, like you had things you could still agree on, and there was plenty of reason for everybody to, even if it was a politicized sort of, skepticism, it was there. And now it's just like, boom, you're either with my identity politic or you're with the other identity politic, and there's nothing, nothing we can agree on ever, ever, ever. And like that's where we're at. And those two nothings, those two heads, those two wings of the dialectic, well, guess what? That same Fortune 100 is promoting those. That same mainstream media is promoting those. The same politicians on both sides arguing about those in a way that leaves no room for common ground. So, yeah, you want to do the corporate identity politic, suck upism, fill your boots, but it's fake. It's not real. It's not. There's no heart and soul in it.
Yeah, you made so many good points there, and I just wanted to say, if anybody has been wondering how or why in the past few years it feels like we're in a perpetual holiday, they would have to, reference what you're talking about, which is cutting to the point here. And by that, I mean, every month it seems like is this, minority heritage month or this corporate emblem and all the pride stuff next. And it just keeps going and going and going. And it's just, and it never stops. And that saturation is proof itself that it's just all about that confusion. But when you get out that scalpel and you cut through this, you see on the other side of it, it's all just to obfuscate any criticism of this oligarchical system, which is trying to, or which is instituting its authoritarianism. So just being clear-minded on that is inoculation enough against all of the whatever the new holidays that they try to bring in are. And we know that Facebook is generating them all the time. So, let's not go over there to Zuckerberg and whatever he's cooking up in that realm, but return to salience and, mature discourse. I mean, I think that people on the left and on the right have more in common than is really understood in this country. It's about the people versus a system that wants to crush them. Getting divided on all this minutia, so just saying, hey, we should bring back an ethos here of like a forum, actual real debate. I know that's asking a lot in this, century of the self, but God willing, we can get there.
That is asking a lot, but it's something worth considering, something worth striving for. If we had a little more Marcus Aurelius in our collective response to stuff, you know what I mean? A little more stoicism. I think we could maybe form little enclaves of people that could do that, people that could actually still communicate with each other. But I don't know. There's a nuance level there, so we'll see how that goes. But gosh, that's all I really want today. I just want to have I would like to see a little bit of extra stoicism. I'm trying to mind mine when it comes to this, because I've literally spent the last 48 hours just going through all the media I could possibly get eyeballs and ears on with regard to this shooting in Texas, which we'll talk about in the second hour a little bit more. And one thing that I will preview it with, though, is it's so bizarre to me to see how the news media is making it, and they always do this. I mean, this, at first, as I say it, it's like, well, duh, this always happens, but there's an extra spiciness to it this time. This whole concept of like all the emotions. It's like they're just everyone, all of the news anchors are just flooding so much emotional response, their own personal emotional response, trying to elicit emotional responses from people. I've seen things I haven't really seen before, like embracing and crying with people. Like, this isn't the way journalism used to work. And obviously it's something we've been leaning into for a while, this whole like toning down of stoicism, of setting aside the ability to leave the emotions out while you're trying to collect data and analyze data. There's just no interest in that in the mainstream media anymore. It's just gone. So I found that really interesting, and a little bit off-putting, quite frankly. If everything is above board, everything is as we're told, it's a little bit off-putting to see the media approach it that way. But anyways, let's see here. Anybody else want to throw in anything on anything we've covered there? We just covered a bit of ground. We did a bit of a bird walk, but I think it all syncs up. All right. Any thoughts on what we might be missing? Like, if all our attention right now is on this event that happened here in Texas and the one that happened in Buffalo, New York, what else is going on? What are we missing? I mean, obviously we've got Davos, we've got WEF, we've got uh Amber Turd, we kind of go down the list, but is there anything that's getting completely obfuscated right now that you guys want to point to before we move into that second segment?
Well, apparently there's some sort of tick running around that could make you allergic to eating meat. And
no, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
What? All right.
Yeah.
Can you bring this up? Can you tell us more
I
details?
dropped a link in the Discord. Since we're on here, I'll find it for you, Infidel. But yeah, no lie, I find that a little concerning. So maybe they're trying to distract us from the impending massive tick invasion that's going to make us all unable to eat meat in the near future. I don't know.
All right. Well, everybody, get your boots out if you're gonna go hiking. Make sure you got some tall boots. You want to get bit by the what do they call that? The meat tick, the vegan tick. Is it a vegan tick? I'm not sure. Well, that just sounds awful. We're gonna need some proof there. Ruckus will get us a link. We'll see what this is all about. I'm gonna call shenanigans on that one, Ruckus. Should we take it seriously? Is it something people are taking seriously, or do you know any details?
Okay, I just sent you guys the link. I'm kidding about us being distracted from it, of course. However, I did find it interesting that despite all of this big happenings in the world, like when I went to my newsfeed today, I was expecting to see a lot of information about the the bang bang or about the monkey itch or whatever, you know. Instead, this is like the third story down. I'm like, okay, so obviously the algorithms, the powers that be, the elites want me, or at least some of us. So I apologize now. We're spreading this information. If this is total misinformation, I don't know, but it seems legit. And I know that there is an odd conspiracy, but not really. The fact is that the elites, the WEF types, the Bill Gates, the Klaus Schwab's types, they do really want to push us towards a future of less to no meat. And I find it interesting that have you guys ever heard of a tick that is going to make you allergic to eating meat? Until now? No. So why now? I just found it interesting, the timing. That's all.
Yeah, this is kind of strange. Here's what it says for those of you listening. Ticks and tick-borne diseases are on the rise and have been for years. While we usually think of Lyme disease when we think of ticks, there are plenty of other issues that can be caused by a tick bite, like Rocky Mountain spotted fever. That one sounds really familiar to me. I feel like we've hit that one before at some point. I kind of remember looking that up a couple years back. Another less well-known condition. Are you ready for it? Mammalian meat allergy. Mammalian meat allergy, okay, which can result from a bite from a Lone Star tick. And where do Lone Star ticks live? Well, you guessed it. Texas, Nebraska, Iowa, and New York are all partly within the boundaries there. There we go, Ruckus. Look at that. According to this CDC map. Okay, we'll just stop right there. CDC would love us to be completely scared about this. I don't really know how to feel about it because I'm already freaked out about Lyme disease and that whole thing anyways, like the whole phenomena of Lyme disease. There's like there's a whole conspiracy theory behind that also that's pretty interesting to dive into. But yeah, Lone Star ticks all of a sudden have a less well-known condition called mammalian meat allergy, huh? Alrighty then. All right.
I really get the odd feeling that somebody somewhere would have heard something about this before now, is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. They say Lone Star ticks can also transmit Yerklerosis, toleremia, Heartland virus, and STARI. I've never heard of any of those, but even those sound more believable than a meat allergy.
Yeah.
They say there's one in Australia and Europe too, linked to the Lone Star tick. And oh boy, they go into some science in here. They've got some science in here, so we may have to float this one over to Infidel. Maybe Infidel, I don't know if you've gotten to read down this one at all yet, or if you have an opinion. I
have
really
not.
don't have one.
I'm just skimming through it right now.
Okay.
I don't know if I can. I need to read it more and look more into
All
it.
right. Well,
I find it interesting that Texas is meat capital and it's the Lone Star state, and this stick is called Lone Star and it gives allergy to meat. I found that interesting.
I do too. There's also this is the second time this term has come up today too. And we'll talk about this after we switch over after the intermission here a little bit more, but there's a multi-agency operation happening in southern Texas called Operation Lone Star. That's interesting a little bit. So I don't know. I guess it's just a coincidence that we come across this mammalian meat meat allergy. Yeah. Ruckus, what do you think?
And Bree hi Bree, shout out in the Discord says that she did some research about ticks and diseases about 7 years ago, and she had heard of the beef thing back then. So
Okay.
thank you, Bree.
All
Yeah, I'm
right.
looking at the Mayo Clinic site right now. It is called alpha gal syndrome.
Wow. All right. Yeah, I saw that mentioned in the article there, alpha gal and how we can be allergic to it. So they've got a whole section in there.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
heard about it before.
Apparently, it's a sugar. The allergy is specifically to a compound called galactose alpha 1,3 galactose, or alpha gal for short. It's a sugar, but you won't find it in sweet foods like fruit. It's made by animals and attaches to proteins. Red meat, which is mainly protein, has small amounts of alpha gal in it. There you go. So truly a microscopic amount there in meat, but I guess if you get nicked by one of these ticks, that could happen. Very interesting. Yep, and there's one of our other intelligent listeners there filling us in on there we go, that rumored Lyme disease conspiracy theory. It is Lyme disease is thought to be developed at Plum Island as biowarfare. So there you go, folks. Something you can try to figure out yourself. Another rabbit hole you can dive into there. Thanks, Deb. All right, well, let's do it. Let's take a break here. Yeah, I'll cut to some music. Anybody want to throw anything out before we bail ourselves off of YouTube? And if you joined us late, we are going to move over to the Rockfin exclusive for the second part of the show here, because we we're so polite and we do our best to follow terms and services, right? And no, actually, we just want to give some special love to that Rockfin platform over there, that audience over there. So we'll see you over there after the intermission. MindSpaceArt, anything you want to throw out there before we go to intermission here?
No, I'm pretty good. I think you guys covered it. But I will say though that I think we're gonna see a slew of bans over the next couple of years that are all just gonna be phrases plucked out of Boiler Room. So if we see nicked by the tick out there, we'll know that it was an homage to us. So
There you go. All right, excellent. Infidel, how about you? Anything you want to throw out there to the YouTube audience before we take our intermission here?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being with us, YouTube. And we will be back. We will be back, definitely. And if you're out there listening live or just finishing this on the replay there on YouTube, head over to Rockfin and look up Boiler Room over there. We are just plain old Boiler Room, the Boiler Room channel on Rockfin. Ruckus, anything I'm forgetting? Anything we need to throw out there before we go to intermission here?
Unfortunately, in addition to the horrendous loss of life that we'll be discussing on the other side on Rockfin, we lost a couple famous people as well. So rest in peace, Ray Liotta. And I forget his name, but I believe the keyboardist from a popular band in the 80s also passed away. Help me out here, Hesher. I was looking for it. But yeah, so we lost a few celebrities as well. So.
All right. I hadn't even heard about the keyboard player yet. I've been swimming in the pool of black pills, and I did see about Ray, though. Yeah, that's a bummer. Seems like Ray was he was only in his 60s, right? He was like 65, something like that.
Oh, I think it was like, early, young 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we seem to be losing people at an alarming rate over the last couple of years. I don't know. Maybe that's just my own perception, but sure seems like a lot of health problems have sprung out of I don't know where. What do you guys think? Alan White of Yes. Thank you. Beetle Stitch and Muser Art. Big shout out to them. Couple of our Texas listeners there, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Alan White of Yes died. And what is that about Depeche Mode?
I think that was where the keyboardist was from. Was
okay. All right. Yeah, well, there go a few more. And here we go off to a break over here in the boiler room, and we're going to sign out on YouTube. I have not done this switch over before, everybody, so I'm probably going to end the broadcast and start a new one at Rockfin. So give us a few minutes. Smoke them if you got them. Take your bathroom breaks, and I'll get you guys. I may have to get you guys in the green room a new link, so keep an eye on the Discord chat.
Hesher, where do listeners go on the website to find the link for Rockfin?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Let me bring it up over here on screen. And all right, everybody can see that, I think. So if we're on the website over here, and if you're just listening, I'll describe it to you. Hamburger menu in the upper right, 3 lines. Click that, and then it'll open the menu up, and click on video, and that'll take you to the video vault. And then go to where is it? Go to Boiler Room and click more, and there you go. You'll yeah, I guess Ruckus, I don't know. I'm gonna have to make that easier. You put me on the spot and I failed. Do you have a quick link to it?
I do. If you go back to the hamburger menu, you can go to the FAQ section, and there's a one called How to Watch Videos.
Oh yeah, I remember making that. Okay, yeah. So hamburger menu, FAQs, and you can get help getting anywhere on the website there. So there's a how to watch up there in the FAQ, and boom, you've got links to our website, our YouTube, our BitChute, our Rockfin, and our Rumble. But this one will be heading to Rockfin, so that's where we're going to be heading, everybody. And we'll see you over there on the Rockfin. And we will be starting a new broadcast over there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. Good night, YouTube. We'll see you next time. Rockfin, we'll be right back.